Why?
Just
the calm before.
okay now.
Okay. I've gotten the green light from Paul. He is the stream master, and he has given us the approval to go ahead and start my half of the show. So, welcome to Awesome Hardware. This is episode 104. You're watching Side B, or the second part of the second half of today's show. If you missed Side A and you're watching this after the fact that we've live streamed, you can watch Part A on Paul's channel. That's youtube.com/paulshardware. If you're watching us live, welcome back. We have a whole other hour or so of content to give you guys right now. Again, this is a show that Paul and I do every single Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, right here on YouTube. Each of our respective YouTube channels, obviously we break it up into two halves, or on twitch.tv/awesomehardware, where we stream the entire show in its entirety, which is the most redundant sentence I've said all day. So let's, on that note, let's continue where Paul left off. No. First off, let's talk about some of the merchandise that we are selling on our respective stores. Mine is bitwit.tech/store. I just added replenished hoodies. So nice old hoodies, just in time for summer.
Wait, where? Oh, these.
Yep, just in time for the hot ass summer.
Get them. Get them while they're hot.
Get them while they're hot. As well as the words in a circle are pretty cool,
Yeah.
am I right? Bitwit glasses now in 20-ounce varieties, much larger. They contain more booze
Now thicker
than ever before.
Thicker and ribbed for her pleasure.
Yeah, you should be my marketing manager.
I know.
And then also Paul is selling stuff on his store,
My store.
paulshardware.net. He's got everything
things.
that your heart may or may not desire.
Look, polo
including
shirts
polo
for
shirts.
professionals.
Yes, or if you're going for a spot of polo.
Or if you're gonna play water polo.
That's must be what polo shirts are for.
Also for that.
And English pub glasses and all that jazz. So, beautiful. Let's go ahead and just dive right into the news. The tech news, to be exact. First of which is Vega benchmarks. Have they been leaked? Yes. Yes, they have. Let's talk about it. This article comes from guru3d.com, and the benchmark that is in question here is that of the 3D Mark Time Spy test. And we haven't had official, or I shouldn't say official, or it's not necessarily confirmed that this is a Vega GPU, but there are many hints that point to that direction. Just to briefly run down the scores that this mystery card was yielding: 5,950 points in 3D Mark Time Spy, and 5,721 points yielded in the graphics score. And there's actually a nice little chart here, a nice little graph that shows where this possible Vega entry stacks up against the competition.
That's this one.
And you can see it. It's right in line with the GTX 1070 from NVIDIA. Which is a bit underwhelming, but we'll talk about that in just a bit. Now, there are certain, like I said, cues that hint at this being a Vega card. The first of which is that this particular model was rated to have 8 gigabytes of memory, or was listed as having 8 gigs of memory, running at 700 megahertz. Now, if you guys remember the Fiji cards, particularly the R9 Fury, that was running HBM1, the OG HBM, at 500 megahertz, so it's not too far-fetched to believe that this could be HBM2 running at a supposed lower frequency of 700 megahertz. It's definitely not a stretch. Also, this is also being displayed as using a beta driver running at a core clock of 1200 megahertz, which seems kind of low, but bear in mind that this is well before retail. Why do you have a picture of a blonde chick on your... Oh, that's Twitter.
Naomi Kyle.
Oh, it's Naomi Kyle.
We've met her in person.
Yes, we have.
That's
You're right.
when I followed her on Twitter.
Okay. It was just very distracting to see like this attractive
She's attractive.
Blonde woman on your completely nude on your laptop.
She's not naked.
I just thought I don't know how you can focus with that. I mean, No, you're right. I'm totally
didn't
messing
know
around.
she was gonna completely sidetrack you right there.
I don't know. I see attractive blonde women.
How about this? Would this be an easier distraction? That's great.
Yeah, I mean, that's not safe for work right there. What is that?
This is making you feel bad about not browsing your Twitter feed more often.
Is that a fried egg? Now I'm going to start doing it. Get all this.
I don't know what this
is. It's like
is.
a fried egg
rice,
over rice and some
fried
raw
egg,
meat.
There's meat around the
with
side.
corn. It looks amazing.
This is from Mark Julio. He, I don't know if he still works for Mad Cats, he used for work for Mad Cats. Also, someone who I met when we were working at Newegg.
Attractive blonde.
He's Filipino, so this
Delicious
might have
food. Yeah.
something to do with
You're
that.
following all the right people, Paul.
Apparently I am.
Thank you very much, Sir Valiant the Third, for the $30 donation. We will be taking all of the comments attached to donations and reading them off and answering your questions at the end of this half. So bear that in mind. Okay, we're getting back on track here. Where did I leave off? Yeah, we think this is a Vega card. We think that these benchmarks are from a Vega GPU because of the evidence that we've seen here. 700 megahertz with 8 gigs of memory. That's 700 megahertz on the memory, of course, and 1200 megahertz on the core clock, which again seems kind of low, but if this is an engineering sample, which is very likely, then retail clocks may be much higher. Also, the card was tested on an X370 board with a Ryzen 7 1800X GPU, which seems very AMD-centric. And I think this is probably the nail in the coffin of identifying this card as Vega, is that the driver ID for the entry in the 3D Mark database is 687FC1, which is the same ID. It matches the ID found on a Doom Vulkan demo that was at an AMD event. So this is likely. This is very likely to be Vega. I mean, if you actually, there's a screenshot in the article that I linked of like a screen grab of Doom.
Yes.
You can see the 687FC1 right there matches the same ID as the one in the 3D Mark database. So I think that's very convincing, to say the least. But I will say, and following up with what Paul was mentioning earlier, like, this is a little underwhelming to see Vega, that's been so highly anticipated, competing right neck and neck with the GTX 1070. But we have to bear in mind that AMD is going to be releasing several variants of cards using their Vega architecture at varying performances and price points. So this could easily be, you know, maybe a mid to high range, but they haven't really shown their full hand yet. There could potentially be a Vega card that competes more directly with a GTX 1080, for example, and, you know, God willing, a GTX 1080 Ti. That would be pretty freaking sweet. So we'll just have to wait and see till then, but overall this does show a bit of what's to come from AMD.
What?
What was that? What was that low key
She said
Beavis and Butthead laugh?
should come.
that was funny. I did say that, didn't I?
You did.
All right, let's move on to our next topic, which is about Windows 10 S. Windows 10 S. Paul did allude to this topic earlier in his half of the show. But Windows 10 S is a new operating system from Microsoft, of course, that is slated to compete more directly with Chrome OS and Google's Chromebooks. Those nasty little Chromebooks.
Paper towels over there.
Did you spill? You did spill.
There's just a little bit of beer.
The hell is wrong with you?
When I poured it, it just came over the top.
We can't take you anywhere, Paul. All right, go ahead and stall. Do a little dance. Actually, I've got some paper towels here for. I always keep paper towels in my room for thermal paste and stuff.
Thermal paste
and beer when you spill it.
That's
apparently.
what they're for.
Indeed. So this was just announced by Microsoft today. Yes, it was. This operating system, Windows 10 S, has been formerly rumored as Windows 10 Cloud, but that's not the official name. It's Windows 10 S. This is a new and lightweight version of Windows 10. However, there's a bit of a caveat. Before we talk about that, this operating system is really targeted at education-focused devices. So kind of the Chromebook equivalents, but running Windows. So the catch, the caveat that I'm talking about here is that Windows 10 S is going to function very similarly to Windows 10. However, all the applications that you'll be using on it will have to be downloaded directly from the Windows Store. You are basically locked. All the users are locked into the Windows Store environment. Anything that runs on a Windows 10 S device will have been acquired through the Windows Store, which is it sucks. I mean, but that's kind of the case, I guess, with a lot of these educational devices. I remember when we had computers in my high school, they all sucked. They all had, like, stupid limitations on them. Granted, it was completely different because they were more like, different sites you couldn't access. You couldn't go on, like, MySpace or Zanga or all those older social media sites. But this is sort of in that same vein. Again, anything that's on the Windows Store, that's the only thing that you'll be able to access, unfortunately.
To respond to Twitch chat,
Yep.
yes, Jerry has already started talking about how terrible Windows 10 S is.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
He is. You can always leave it to Jerry to bash the Microsofts. So the other thing here is that 10s users, I'm just going to call it 10s as a shorthand, they can still run x86 based desktop applications. Which is one of the things, the main thing that sets it apart from Windows RT. You're not able to do that on RT. Again, those x86 based desktop applications need to have been packaged and listed in the Windows Store to be supported on those devices. The operating system will run any browser in the store. This was a direct quote from some bigwig at Microsoft, perhaps hinting that Google should bring Chrome to the Windows Store. It is the #1 web browser, so it makes sense that Microsoft would want to see that pop up in its store to sort of promote their Windows 10 S operating system.
I don't know how to feel about that.
What, having...
I want to say, yeah, Google should do that.
But should they? Yeah, I don't know. It supports themselves. It supports the Chrome browser, but it also sort of shoots themselves in the foot because it prevents people from maybe buying a Chromebook.
Yeah. Right?
It sort of competes with itself, but also that's what happens when you're a company that makes so many different products and services. And you want to sometimes promoting one product means you have to sort of sacrifice on marketing the other. I don't know. But at any rate, this is going to feature, the new operating system is going to be featured on a wide range of products, starting at $189 US, very affordable for the poor person student. Most students are poor, so a sub $200 price point seems reasonable. All products rockin' Windows 10s will come with a free subscription of Minecraft Education Edition.
Oh.
Sorry.
What?
That
What
was
does
close.
that mean?
That was really close. It was almost good. I don't know. I didn't even know that there was an education edition of Minecraft.
Before you craft this diamond pickaxe, you must answer these math questions.
You must. What is 1 plus 1?
What is the capital of Zaire? Haha. I don't know.
Here's your coal, you dirty bastard. And also a free Office 365 education with Microsoft Teams.
Okay.
So not actually the Office 365 suite, but you will get educated. You'll get free education for some period of time with the Microsoft Teams team. I don't know what the hell Microsoft Teams is. Time will tell if Microsoft can steal any of the market share in the education sector from Google and their popular Chromebooks. Also, I thought this was kind of interesting. Microsoft is including some education-based features into their new OS. You can read about it in the article that we're talking about here. I'm not going to go over all the details, but a full version of Office is coming to the Windows Store, which is nice, being able to have full access to, full Excel, all the Word and PowerPoint features on a device like this. That's kind of cool. And here's the kicker. Students with Windows 10s can upgrade to Windows 10 Pro for free at any time. So and if you upgrade, you can then install any program. You're no longer limited to the Windows Store applications. It's Windows 10 Pro.
Okay.
So I don't know why anyone would not do that. If you're a student,
I wonder how they validate that you're a student. Do you just need a .edu email address?
Perhaps, probably an active edu address. It seems
also
likely.
I don't think you have any notes on this, and this is a CNET story that I just pulled up. But they also announced a Surface laptop for $999.
Oh, with Windows 10s on it.
With Windows 10s.
So this is for the rich kid in your class that everyone hates.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think you're saving a little bit of money on the overall cost of the Surface because of the Windows 10s instead of full Windows. But the Surface is a nice little laptop.
Sure is.
This one looks pretty damn good. $1,000 is a pretty good price. And look how thin it is. It's
fits cool. Right in your backpack. Easy to carry around with you on campus. I wonder how the battery life is.
Yeah,
it's probably not
I would
too
imagine
bad.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, it would have to
but
be. But
this is potentially a huge competitor for something like a MacBook Pro.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just when it comes to the thin light category. Because it's got. I mean, I like these finishes that they have going on.
Yeah.
It's definitely different.
Kind of like a granite.
Yeah, it's kind of
a granite countertop.
Stone finish or whatever. Comes with a little stupid Microsoft mouse.
I hate those mice.
I don't know, they're not bad.
They're dumb.
They have a very small footprint. Anyway, check out the CNET article. Go to cnet.com and search for Surface Laptop is Microsoft's 99. Kyle's not going to have this article linked in the description is what I'm trying to say, so go there if
this
you want to.
This is a Paul link.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so that's fun. Let's move on to our next story, which is about the next generation of VR enhancements coming to the HTC Vive very soon. Ew. Paul actually talked about this briefly. He talked about one of the things, one of the features, one of the new technologies that's coming up quickly. But I'm going to go over a couple others. This is just the beginning. There's lots of room to grow when it comes to virtual reality. I'd say, the HTC Vive and Oculus Rift launched no more than a year or two ago. And
the the Vive launched over a year ago. The Rift launched about a year ago.
Yeah. So still very much in its infancy, this VR technology. And there are a lot of companies that are trying to build on that and trying to grow the platform to make it better, make the experiences richer for the end user, of course. Vive's Virtual Reality Venture Capital Alliance, or VRCA, is a group trying to take VR to new heights, especially on the Vive. And this will likely bleed over to the Rift. Obviously these technologies, the ones that stick, will probably eventually sort of spread to the other platforms of the competitors. And Engadget, which is where this article's from, took a sneak peek at what's to come to the Vive at the group's fourth official meeting. The first of which is sort of like wireless VR. I mean, it is wireless VR. Even though we already kind of have a taste of that, wireless VR is already possible with the help of TPCast's adapter that they shipped earlier this year. But now that same company is working on a newer, upgraded adapter called the TPCast Business Edition that not only enables wireless play, but multiplayer. Which will give more freedom to users who are collaborating, ideally in the same physical room, within a VR environment. So
multiplayer, like
when users are in the same space.
Two people wearing two VR headsets. Correct. In the same cube of VRness.
Yes.
I don't know what to call that.
Yeah, in the same room scale space, in the same room scale area.
That's gonna be awesome because
cool.
Eventually you'll have these situations where they're playing a video game. It gives you this sense of like, oh, I'm doing whatever in VR.
Yeah.
But then there's another player.
Yeah.
And then you physically tackle them or something. And then everything breaks.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Real boxing.
Cool.
Sweet. So there's a lot to be said more about this. It's going to give more freedom, obviously. Social media improvements. There's a company called OBEN or OBEN. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. They've partnered with WeChat, which is a huge social platform in China, and they're building an AI-driven virtual environment that allows VR users to seamlessly interact with WeChat users on mobile. So you might be at the grocery store, and I might be in my VR headset here in this room, and we could have a conversation of some sort. We can interact with each other. While you're on your mobile device and I'm just dicking around here. It involves creating a realistic.
Can't you do that with phones?
I can't talk. You could do that with phones, Paul, but that's no fun. Where's the fun in that?
But then it's not VR.
Let's make it infinitely more complicated by introducing a VR headset and light boxes and.
I'm just saying, there's tons of potential for VR and cool things you can do with VR, but I feel like video chat, I don't think there's.
Well.
All right.
No,
all right.
There's no argument for that.
I take it back.
Yeah, you do.
Star Wars.
What? It's not what I thought you were going to say.
Because Star Wars, when they talk to people, they have a little hologram or whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
Okay, if people are going, if VR is going to catch on in a big way, and people are going to be spending more time in their headsets, doesn't it make sense that if someone texts you, you should have a way to be able to interact with them immediately, directly, and easily without having to ever take your headset off or grabbing a keyboard of some sort? Doesn't that make sense? I mean, being able to just like conversate with it's bridging the gap between two completely different mediums. Text messaging, for example, versus VR.
It is a good question, and something that I'm sure will come up more often as VR becomes more popular. Like, I don't know, for something like that, I feel like mixed reality would make more sense. Something like a HoloLens, where you can still see the world around you. Mm-hmm. So where you could type on a keyboard or something like that. But
sure. Or
yeah,
what about a game that can support VR but doesn't necessarily have to? You don't actually have to be in a headset to play it. So let's say you're doing sort of a VoIP thing between someone who's playing without a headset and you're actually wearing a headset. And if it's like a co-op game, or you just need to communicate within the game, how are you going to talk to that person if they're on a keyboard and you're in a headset?
Yeah, so I mean, right now in VR you've got the headset and you've got whatever controllers you're using or something like that. So if you can't just talk and they can hear you, like with a microphone or something like that, then yes, there needs to be some solution for how you might communicate with someone, because you don't just have a keyboard and you can't just type when you're using the VR controllers or that kind of thing. So right. Yeah.
So basically, what this is developing, what this company's developing, is a way to use smart speech to text programs, where if you were, let's say, at the grocery store just with your phone, and I was here with a VR headset, I could just do a speech to text type of thing where I'm like, "Hey Paul, I hate you," and then it just texts you the text. It'll just send you the text and you'll get it, and it's more accurate, things like that. That is being worked on currently, and it's also the company's also developing an app that will allow WeChat mobile users to control an avatar in the VR world without wearing a headset. So even if you were at the grocery store, you could still command and control an avatar in a VR environment that I would see.
Okay.
And so like, hey, it would sort of bring us together a little bit more. Obviously for me a bit more, since I would be wearing the headset and I could see you and walk around you and stuff. You wouldn't be able to do all that, but you would still have sort of an avatar that you could control from your phone, which would lower the barrier, but for VR experiences, theoretically. And
some reason that reminds me of so I used to play World of Warcraft, right? Mm-hmm. World of Warcraft, and in World of Warcraft there was what was known as keyboard turners.
Turners?
Yes. Which is people who use the keyboard to turn. Left and right button. Which is way less efficient than turning with the mouse.
Right.
So you can actually whip around and aim at something really quick.
Right.
So maybe in the future, if someone's just controlling their avatar in a VR or in a massive online game or something like that, if they're just controlling with a controller or a keyboard or something and walking forward and back, and they don't have the full range of movements and quick whatever that you would if you're fully in the VR immersive unit or whatever, it tracks your movements, that will be the equivalent of a keyboard turner.
It'll be a VR turner. Or no, a mobile turner.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
Anyway, just that's what popped into my head.
All right. And then 7 in Venson, which is one of the companies that Paul was talking about earlier in his half of the show. They're doing a pretty cool eye tracking kit. I'm not going to go into detail about that. You can watch Paul's half in order to get more info on that. And then the last one is that was it. That was all of it.
That's all.
All this technology that was shown and showcased at this meeting is still under development, but most of it, according to the article, will be available this year at some point in the form of upgrades to the HTC Vive. These are sort of add-ons to the Vive, if you will. The Vive staff did not confirm whether any of this showcase technology would appear on a next-generation headset in the near future. It would be cool if we had a Vive 2.0 or 3.0 later down the line that just included all this crap, so you wouldn't have to keep buying these little add-ons or whatever. But that's what we're stuck with for now. And let's move on to our next topic, which is about Acer. I think this article comes from the same sort of press conference that Paul was discussing with the X27 monitor. This is the Predator Triton 700, which is a badass ultrabook / gaming laptop.
It says it's frost forged.
How is that?
That's not true. That is objectively not true that it is frost forged.
Forged in the confines of ice, on the big mountain of glacier palace. It just sounds so fanciful and nonsense.
Sounds like they're trying to, like a Game of Thrones. Sounds like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's stupid. So Acer announced this at their recent press event. This is the first laptop in their new line of Predator Triton ultra-thin gaming laptops. It features an aluminum housing at 18 millimeters thick, and the specs include Kaby Lake Core i7 processors. It did not say if they were mobile or not, but since it didn't specify mobile, I would guess it's a full desktop CPU.
It's got a very effective self-destruct feature that makes the keyboard just completely explode and fly to the air, as you can see here.
That's a security measure. That's just a really intense...
Self-destruct.
Yeah.
The entire thing flies apart to every constituent part. It's amazing.
As soon as...
I've been waiting for this technology.
You can configure it to automatically do that as soon as someone clicks on your web browsing history. It just instantly disintegrates and explodes in your face. Takes out the person watching. They just die instantly. Specs include Kaby Lake Core i7 GTX 10 series cards. So I believe you might be able to get a GTX 1080 in this on the premium.
60, 70, and 80 are all
60,
available
70,
for
80.
mobile.
So it seems very much like this is already competing with the Razer Blade Pro series. Right, you get the aluminum housing, the super thin design, the 10 series cards, 2 PCIe SSDs, up to 32 gigs of DDR4, mechanical keyboard with LED backlit keys. These are the scissor switch type of mechanical keyboards, not necessarily like the old school, like the Titan SLI keyboards where it's actually a real straight up Cherry MX keyboard.
How can they say that? That seems BS.
Well, Razer says the same thing about their Blade Pro. Their mechanical switches.
Really?
They're using mechanical, like really flat mechanical switches, like the world's first mechanical switches, and to some degree, they kind of are. They sort of have a lot of the same similar traits underneath as a mechanical switch does, but they feel completely different, obviously, because the travel is so short, things like that. So there is some sacrifice there. They actually feel like the Blade Pro, I'll say, does not feel the greatest to type on. Those mechanical switches are kind of a bane. When you're just typing up an email or a word processing document. However, when you're gaming, they feel very tactile, far superior to just a regular scissor switch that you'd find on most keyboards. So it's kind of like, if you're gaming a lot, then it's worth it. If you're mostly typing and taking notes, why would you even buy this keyboard or this laptop in the first place? And it does have a 15.6-inch display, which is unfortunately limited to 1080p resolution, which... granted, you'll be able to push the pixels easier, and you'll probably get more performance that way. However, it's just kind of nice to have, like a 1440p or 4K screen, just to get that extra fidelity if you're going to be, viewing movies, viewing pictures, things like that. It is nice to have that option because you can always scale down. Obviously, you can't scale up unless you're using super dynamic resolution or whatever.
1080 definitely seems more like a bang for the buck resolution than something that should be on like a flagship product.
Yeah, and then the other interesting thing about this laptop is that the trackpad is actually behind the keyboard, assuming that Acer is probably guessing that most gamers are going to be connecting a mouse. You're not going to be using a trackpad while you're gaming.
Wait,
so
trackpad's up here?
Trackpad is actually behind the keyboard. Yeah, that's it. It's actually coated by a layer of Gorilla Glass.
Is the entire thing a trackpad? Or just this?
I don't know if it extends the whole length, but I would imagine probably for lefties and righties, right? So that you can use it anywhere.
That's weird.
And there's no, even there's no click. Obviously, there's no physical click. It's all just like tap to click and stuff. It is strange. I'm not sure if I like that. I'd have to try it out myself to see how much of a pain it is. But
I'd rather have the IBM nub. I'd rather have that.
Yeah, the little nub in the middle.
The old IBM ThinkPad nub.
Yep.
I was pretty good with the ThinkPad nub.
Yeah. I never had a problem with it. Yeah, I got used to it.
I'm not going to game with it, but
sure.
It seems a little bit more practical than having to reach up above the keyboard.
Right. And I feel like there's a trade-off here because now that you've moved the keyboard a lot closer to the edge, it's almost like you don't get bothered by the edge of the laptop. Like your wrist, you know what I mean? There's not as much interference.
But sometimes it seems like then you would need a wrist rest, right?
Not necessarily. Sometimes,
what do you mean not necessarily? There's a decent amount of space right there, and any keyboard that you have, not need, but if you want it to be more ergonomic. I mean, that's one of the nice things about laptops is that you have a built-in wrist rest. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Okay.
See that makes sense, but that argument sort of goes out the window for me when you consider gaming laptops that especially have these 10 series GPUs that and aluminum chassis that conduct heat very well, a little too well. So whenever I'm gaming on this, the Razer Blade here, for example, or the Blade Pro, it gets super hot and it actually irritates my wrist because it's just too warm. After 20, 30 minutes of gaming, it's like a wrist rest that heats up way too much. So I actually get very uncomfortable, and I almost sometimes wish that the keyboard was a little bit closer to the edge. But obviously we don't know exactly how hot this is going to get under load, so that remains to be seen. But Paul's wrong, I'm right.
Your face goes out the window.
That sounds uncomfortable. But keep your eyes on that. It's going to be starting at $2,999.
Ooh,
$3,000 starting. That's maybe, I don't know if that's for the 1080 model. It's probably for the 1060 model, which is absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it goes down after they realize no one's buying them. Moving on to the games report. I'm going to go through these relatively quick. There's not too much heavy meat here on these articles. The first of which is about the Nintendo 2DS.
Lower thirds games report.
Yeah, on
Yay.
it. Well done. The Nintendo 2DS XL was recently announced by Nintendo, and this is going to support the same games as the new 3DS, just not in 3D. Hence the name 2DS. It's very self-explanatory. This borrows a lot of the features from.
I don't want to play this. Nintendo's going to flag our video.
No. Just move your mouse cursor over the video the whole time, and it'll throw off the algorithm. Totally, that's how it works.
Okay.
All right. So while Paul's doing that, this is going to be using a lot of the same features as the newer 3DS, like the C-Stick, the Amiibo-compatible NFC reader, and extra processing power. So I actually really like the way it looks. It looks super clean. Very, very stylish. It's using the same familiar clamshell design, unlike the original 2DS, which was just a really ugly sort of slate.
It has a C-Stick.
Has a C-Stick, hell yeah. There's Amiibos, Mario.
It reads your Amiibos.
Reads your Amiibos, which is awesome. Everyone loves Amiibos.
I don't.
Everyone, Paul's got a collection at home.
Sorry.
This is launching July 28th. I should just buy an Amiibo just to see what it's like, to see what I'm missing out on, Yeah. I'm sure there's like this really great feeling that you get when you get an Amiibo. You're like, yeah. I see the light. Yeah.
Really?
I get it. No, not at all.
Okay.
Retailing for $150 US, very competitively priced on July 28th. I would suggest pre-ordering this sucker if you do want one really badly, because I guarantee you they're going to sell out really quick.
People are going to, you're going to say get this and not the Switch?
Okay, so here's the difference. At first, you might think, why is Nintendo even releasing another handheld which seems to compete directly with the Switch? It doesn't, though, because at $150, it's literally half the price of the Nintendo Switch. So, you're targeting a different audience. You're targeting maybe kids who don't need the full, gamut of features that come with the Switch, or that, the titles in that area. I think that what's keeping the DS series alive, honestly, and I've read this in other articles, is like the Pokemon franchise. Pokemon franchise is like still blowing up like more than it ever has, and it's one of the reasons why these units are selling out, and why they're selling just millions and millions of copies a year. So as far as I know, there's no like Pokemon game slated for the Switch yet, and so people who are fans of that franchise, which is an enormous group of people, will probably be flocking to something like the DS.
You don't think that's coming though?
I mean,
a Pokemon game for the Switch?
I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say if Nintendo would do that, because then at that point,
why would they not do that?
Yeah, you're right.
There's no reason for them not to do that.
They haven't done it so far for any of the other
because
recent consoles.
Because for
any
all
good ones,
all right, there's plenty of You can talk a lot of crap on Nintendo. That was so new.
Nintendo.
You can talk a lot of crap on Nintendo
Freudian
because they've done a lot of stupid stuff, but they do understand on some fundamental level that games have to just be good, and they do a really good job in a lot of situations of just making really good games.
True.
And I feel like with something like Pokemon, they would hopefully have the understanding that they can't just shit out a Pokemon game. They have to make sure it's completely functional.
Of course.
They have to make sure it has some tie-in with the new way that the Switch works and everything like that. So
I don't doubt that Nintendo would make a Pokemon game for the Switch. I just think it would be different enough to where it'd be a completely different type of Pokemon game as what you could find on the DS. Like, remember, like when the originals, like the Red and Blue versions came out for Pokemon on the Game Boy.
You say, do you remember when this happened with Pokemon to me?
Oh yeah, I forgot you were like,
not,
you were like an old man already.
Are you talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, maybe? Or
sorry,
I don't know what else.
That's so sad that the Pokemon phase escaped you. Like, you didn't grow up with Pokemon.
No,
that breaks
I didn't.
my heart.
I was in my 20s.
I know, you're in your 20s. You're like, what the fuck is this shit? You must have just been like, the hell are all these kids on about? That was a great time, man.
No, I was
definitely in that phase.
in between enough to where like I wasn't like the older people who are just like, I have no idea what the hell is going on. Like, I was able to grasp it to some extent.
It was a crazy
I understood how the appeal of it was and the collection aspect and
Right.
all that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
I understood it and I knew what it was, and I didn't think like, oh, that's lame.
Sure.
It was just I was older and
not into it.
Completely not the target demographic for Pokemon at that point. So yeah.
That's how you know where.
Get off my lawn. Get off,
you crotchety old bastard.
Damn kids.
So, like, what I was saying, though, like, they had the original Red and Blue versions of the game on Game Boy, and it was very much, like, top-down sort of RPG. And then they came out with Pokemon games for the Nintendo 64, but they were completely different. It was like Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap. They were completely different experiences that you could only get on a console at that time, which I'm probably guessing is, if anything, is going to be similar to what Nintendo does here for the Switch. But I digress, as is the case of the show. But let's move on to our next topic here, which is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Just a quick honorable mention here in that this game is currently killing it. They are slaying, if you will. The game entered Steam Early Access on March 23rd and sold 1 million copies by April 10th. Now, 1 month later, less than a month later, with 2 million copies sold, it has doubled its player base in less than a month. Holy shit.
Well, damn.
Developer Bluehole announced that it'll be matching donations up to $100,000 during their first charity invitational, which benefits Gamers Outreach, happening this Thursday, May 4th at 9 a.m. For those of you interested, it'll feature 32 two-player teams from North America and Europe. I'm glad that they have excluded all of the Asians, because as an H1Z1 player myself, the Asians are just too good. They're too good, and it's not fair. The Asians are OP. Because when you get killed by an Asian, because it's just like some, like their username like just doesn't make sense.
Oh.
Or it's like some broken English.
Okay.
And it's like, that's definitely an Asian person. There's no other person it could be. And they're just so good. And they travel in packs. They're incredibly talented and gifted. And they're a piece of shit, to all of us gamers who really want to try to win.
I really like the developer's name, Bluehole.
Bluehole.
That sounds very just...
Very close to being an insult.
It's so borderline suggestive,
but not at all.
But it's just a blue hole. What? There's a hole and it's blue. What's wrong with that?
It's like
there's nothing. I didn't mention a rim job at all.
That name.
Like I didn't even bring that up. Why are you asking what the association is with that? What?
We're talking about video games. All of a sudden, I just want to go jerk off. What the hell's going on here?
That's what happens.
It's just very. I think the name Bluehole definitely exploits our dirty minds.
Yeah,
that's what it does. I think maybe that could have been the developer's intent. Those fucking blue holes. What?
It's like you didn't get back to me last night. What were you up to?
Say no more.
All
right. Well, that explains it.
No details needed.
All right. So, congratulations to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds for doing a killer job.
Sweet.
I'm sure. Stone also had some nice milestones this month or this week. 70 million players. They are up to 70 million freaking players, up from 30 million in 2015. So just 2 years later, they've more than doubled their player base.
Wow.
They also broke a record on top of that for most simultaneous players at one time. It didn't specify if this was just for mobile or just all time. I don't know. It could be for all time. This was after they had just released their Journey to Ungoro expansion. So that obviously brought a lot of new players. And
see Ungoro Crater.
Ungoro what?
Ungoro Crater.
Ungoro Crater, yeah, I don't know what that means. But to celebrate, the company is giving players free card packs from now until the end of May. So anyone who logs in to Hearthstone will receive 3 free Journey to Ungoro card packs.
Oh.
So just thought I'd throw that out there. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already heard about it, but just in case you didn't, you don't want to miss out on those free cards. Also, there's another thing that I would like to bring to your attention. This is the last little tidbit that I have for Games Report today, which is GOG. Good old GOG, the Steam competitor and alternative, is doing a May the 4th sale.
Nice.
As you might have guessed, on all the Star Wars games that you can imagine, up to 77% off on games including Battlefront 2, Empire at War, Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, and Republic Commando. There might be a couple others there that I missed. The sale is ongoing now until 3 a.m. Pacific time on May 12th. So, a little bit of benefit there for all of you Star Wars fans. Now then.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. Let's do some mail time.
The 4th will be with you.
The 4th will be.
Always.
Shall.
Mail time!
Mail time! You guys have sent Paul and I some stuff.
Oh,
We're
good
going
stuff.
to open it and box it. Brian, Maraksut, if you're watching, I misplaced your letter. I read it. It was a beautiful letter addressed to both me and Paul. I don't know where it is right now, but just to say, just to make up for it, I'm wearing the shirt that you gave me, which is amazing. I'm going to wear this shirt every day. I know it's a little douchey, guys, to wear a shirt with yourself on it, but I'm okay with this because someone else made it, and it's kind of like a fan thing, and also it just looks really fun. And it really makes me just want to make that expression. Like, anytime someone, walks in the room, I just want to go...
Where'd your pink wristband
and do the same
go?
thing. Pink wristband?
The pink wristband that you're wearing and...
Oh! Jesus! Where is it? Is it in here?
You were wearing that very consistently for quite a while.
And I will continue to wear it.
It's better now.
Now that I'm held to the standard as shown on this shirt. But we have a bunch of other things, so thank you very much, Brian. I really do appreciate it. And
Thanks,
also the shirts that you had sent my wife, some of the sword fight shirts that in the female sizes.
He sent my wife a couple shirts too.
Yes, so we do appreciate that very much, sir. Let's go ahead and open up. How should we do this? Should we just unbox everything at once and just have a crazy Christmas morning type of sort of opening, or one at a time?
Well, I mean, we can each grab one, but we should only focus on one at a time.
Of course, yeah. I don't want it to be too ADHD. All right, I'm gonna open this letter.
Okay.
First, and you pick one to open yourself.
I'll do the letter as well.
Okay. This is from Max. Max of Colorado Springs, Colorado. All right.
Weird place for Colorado Springs to be.
Right? Wouldn't you just call it Springs? Technically, that would already be. I'm fine.
It's filled with white powder.
Oh, great. There's a nice little Post-it note on the card that says, "I'm fine if you show this in a video, but please, if you do, show it in a video instead of a stream so that I don't miss it." Well, I do apologize, Max, but you know what? This stream will eventually turn into a video.
True.
So you won't be able to. You'll definitely catch it if you do. Please open this sooner rather than later. Hopefully this is sooner. I'll just read it really quick. Hey Kyle, this is actually meant for Paul. Aw, what? But I trust that you can help me as well. Not really. Okay. In the February Mini ATX build, I am looking to switch out a few parts. The GTX 1080 will be replaced with the 1080 Ti, Founders Edition. Both SSDs with one Kingston HyperX Savage 480 gig and one WD Black 6 terabyte. The horrible Noctua fans will be replaced by Corsair HD 120s, however many I can fit. I'll also have an Asus MG24UQ 23.6-inch monitor. Not sure if I need to mention these, but also Razer Mamba, Razer Black Widow TE Chroma, Windows 10, HTC Vive, yay, should finish off the build. The obvious question, are these compatible? He gave me his email address in case I need it. If it isn't compatible, could you give me some advice? Also, your cat and Paul's dog should fight to the death. Paul's dog would win. Paul's dog would certainly win, and I would hope they would.
There's only one time I'm really
Screw those cats.
afraid when I'm out with Hero is when he sees a cat. He hates cats. He wants to eat cats.
We'll do a play date sometime.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Stupid cats.
I don't see anything that seems incompatible, because you're talking about a graphics card.
And a monitor, storage. No, you're good, man.
If he's talking about your February Mini ITX build or my February Mini ITX build? Didn't we both do Mini ITX builds in February?
We did. So...
yeah. 1080 Ti Founders Edition would fit in mine. Everything else should
fit in mine too.
In mine.
NKSM1 fits everything.
The Noctua fans would not in mine because the Noctua fans were chosen because they're 80 or 90 millimeter fans. They're smaller.
Mine has a couple fan mounts, assuming you don't have a liquid cooled AIO. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It seems like a pretty good system. You're on the right track there. Thank you very much, Max, for the letter. Appreciate it, man.
Yes.
What else we got?
All right, so this letter is not supposed to be read on air, but I will say thank you to Old Grouch, a.k.a. Wogsy, for sending this over.
Wogsy.
And I'm glad you enjoy our show, and I will read your letter.
Can you have a beer down there?
And what? I just put that
right
there in front of you.
Sorry.
You could also reach across my lap one more time, though.
No, yeah.
All right, thank you, Wogsy, for the letter. All right, let's get into the packages.
Package.
We have packages.
You said packages.
Let's start with this one. All right. This one is from Court Byron. Long-time watcher of the show. I'm going to try not to show his address here.
Hey, you go, Court.
Seems like there's liquid inside here. He wanted us to do a bonus face-off straw poll request. Maybe I can do this next week. If you buy a carton of Neapolitan ice cream, which flavor runs out first? Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry?
If you buy a carton of Neapolitan ice cream, which flavor runs out first? Oh, is he basically saying which one do you like the best?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I imagine different people would have different thoughts on that. Oh wait, I have something.
I would think my the vanilla would run out the first for me.
Really?
Because I don't like vanilla all that much, or not as much as the others. So I would eat it first and save the good stuff for later.
So you do like I do.
I save the best for last.
Stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I like saving the best for last.
Okay.
Because you have something to look forward to rather than dreading something.
I'll be honest, if I have something like Neapolitan, I try to get an even amount of each as I do each serving.
Of course.
Because
that is the best policy.
Because it's Neapolitan. You're meant to have all three flavors. Why would you just want to scoop one out? All right. Court says, wait. Dear Paul and Kyle, Johnson & Johnson plus Johnson & Johnson equals the dreaded Quadruple Johnson episode. You guys know what your audience wants to see, now you have no excuse. Just kidding, be well, peace out. Court, a.k.a. Positron, a.k.a. Joe
Nice, thanks Positron.
What do we got in here?
That's epic.
There's some liquid in here. Oh, I know what he sent us.
That's baby oil. Holy shit, he sent us baby oil. Oh my god. Well, now we just gotta lather each other up on stream and
it made it.
Get naked.
Ooh. Hey, look, you put our pictures on there too.
Yeah, we can. Oh, we put our pictures. Oh, I'm a baby.
Pictures of each of us as babies.
I'm a little baby.
You guys can see.
We're little. We'll tweet it later.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's awesome.
That is epic.
Thank you, Court. We really have no excuse now.
Are we actually going to use this?
What? Obviously.
Duh.
What option do we have? It arrived.
Yeah. I look pretty good as a baby.
Yeah, you do.
A little too much facial hair.
Very happy
for that age, but yeah, not bad.
All right,
Johnson.
What's your other one you got?
Okay. This I believe is from our beautiful friend Adrian.
Oh, Adrian.
Because we got some fudge.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, maple and
walnut.
That is a new flavor.
Oh my goodness.
That is a new flavor.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Is there more than one?
Wait. Yeah. Oh, coffee and cream.
Coffee and cream.
Coffee and cream, maple and walnut. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Why?
Adrian. And there's no letter, so I'm assuming it must be him, right?
Yeah, he's the only one who sends us fudge.
So thank you so much, Adrian. Adrian's the best.
From England.
Good lord. Yeah, this is straight from Britain, yo.
Hell yeah.
Hell.
So are you gonna?
Yeah.
Maybe we should try one of them.
Yeah, which one should we try? Maple and walnut sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Maple and walnut fudge.
Hopefully we can eat it all before my wife finds it.
Thank you, Adrian.
Adrian's the best.
I'm gonna thank you now while I can still speak. All right, this next package was sent to me from. So I gotta say, big thank yous to Trina from Lost Coast Brewery, who actually apparently shipped this. And then there's also... What?
It's so good.
It's really good.
Oh my god.
There's also a note in here.
Come on.
What? Give me a piece.
Come on.
I want...
No. It's just not right. Nothing should taste this good. Mmm.
Oh, it's nutty.
Just give it a second to like sort of settle. Once it hits you.
It's nutty.
Yeah. I like nutty. I like nuts.
It's nice. It's nutty.
Mm. The supple taste of nuts in your mouth.
Maple is just it's subtle. There's a hint of maple.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Oh god damn you, Adrian.
That's amazing.
I hate you.
And
I'm
it's
trying to
crumbly.
lose weight, you ass.
It's crumbly.
Good lord.
So,
It's crumbly. Yes, it is.
today
so good.
marks a very special day, although technically this was probably sent months ago.
Since you're doing that, do we not want to thank the person who sent you this?
Yes, we will.
Oh yeah.
Good call. Thank you very much.
Well,
Thank
Alright,
you.
Go ahead.
So today is a very special day. This marks the first time we have been directly sent something by a brewery.
That is pretty epic.
So this was sent by Lost Coast Brewery.
It's not epic brewing.
That's
That's awesome. I love them too.
It's freaking.
It's
yeah,
like, not only is it just
I
a
love
brewery-
Lost Coast. I've been drinking Lost Coast beer for quite some time.
It's one that we
I
like
used to
a
drink,
lot.
yeah. So they sent me like a Downtown Brown care package because in one of the previous episodes I drank Downtown Brown and I was like Downtown
That's
Brown's
freaking
awesome.
awesome.
So we got a set of cards here with the Downtown Brown logo.
That's so cool.
It says, "Hello, Paul. One of our warehouse men, Matt Lawson, was listening to your program recently, and you mentioned your favorite beer brand, Downtown Brown. We
Woo!
thought you'd enjoy a fan package. Cheers, Carrie Sams." Thank you,
That's
Matt.
so cool.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you,
That's awesome.
Lost Coast Brewery. We
Thanks,
have
guys.
a Downtown Brown T-shirt.
Nice.
So you gotta rock that.
That's super cool.
And then we got a
Glass
Downtown
too?
Brown pint glass, I believe.
Beautiful.
I haven't looked at this one.
Sounds like there's something rattling in it, no?
Yeah, there might be a shot glass in there too.
Ah.
Oh no,
Hey,
there's
shots
a
of
there's a
Downtown
magnet.
Oh, cool. Put it on
I
your
think
fridge.
That's a magnet. So we got a Downtown Brown magnet there,
Yeah.
and then the pint glass.
Look at that.
Lost Coast Downtown Brown.
That is super cool.
Get down with Mr. Brown. Thank you so much, Lost Coast.
Where are they from? I
Eureka.
forget. Eureka,
Yeah.
California. Eureka, of course.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty cool.
that's freaking awesome. All right.
Damn. Sweet. Okay. I guess I should open another one. This is another letter from Atharva. Atharva Kohli.
Running out of space.
From Taoyuan.
Taiwan.
Taiwan. Very cool.
Yeah, we've been there.
We're going there.
We're going back there.
Like a couple weeks. Holy crap. Alright, what do we got here? This says, to Bitwit. Hi Bitwit, I'm a huge fan of yours. My name is Atharva. I live in Taiwan. You probably heard of this place. Remember Computex in Taipei? I certainly do.
Yes, we do.
Anyways, I study at a junior high school in Taoyuan City. It's a few miles from Taipei. Started a YouTube
That's where the
channel.
airport is.
Yeah, that's right. TPE. I edit my videos with Premiere Pro CC. I've made about 15 videos by now. Very nice. I have great interest in building PCs, although most PC hardware, even secondhand, is quite expensive for a student like me. Yeah, you know,
That's
the
weird. I feel
PC
like in
hardware is not that much cheaper in Taipei. I
Which is
remember
weird,
looking
because that's
for
where
it.
so much of it is manufactured.
Right. Unless you're talking about like LED strips.
Yeah.
LEDs are just dirt cheap. But
LEDs.
everything else, yeah, not as big a savings as you might think. I've started a YouTube channel to allocate more funds for PC building so I can further pursue my hobby. That's how it starts, man. And bring more content to the audience. I have a humble request that you inform other fans of the Bitwit channel so more people can see my works. Don't hesitate to contact me at, I'm not going to say your number out loud. Look forward to hearing from you. Atharva. Thanks, man. Really appreciate the letter. Very nice. Good luck on your YouTube channel. I hope it goes well. It is a long road. It is a long path that you've started, but a worthwhile one, to say the least. You will be
This is
rewarded.
some of the strongest tape I've ever encountered.
You on a knife? Or
No, I got it.
you
good.
weakling?
It's good. All right.
Okay.
This is from Rob F. from
Rob.
New York.
Rob.
This came all the way from New York. It's in a Newegg box. We have what appears to be a letter here. Paul and Kyle, congratulations on hitting 100 episodes of Awesome Hardware. Yes, we did that recently. I wanted to thank you both for all of the content I've enjoyed over the years since Newegg days. I hope you enjoy this magical elixir that I have enclosed.
Oh, magical elixir. I like the sound of that.
I find it best over some ice cream like an iced coffee.
Oh.
Keep up the great videos.
Is it a stout?
Rob, a.k.a. CFHN and NYY.
Rob, you dog!
This is really well packed.
It is. It's packed better than most like computer cases I get for review.
God. What?
You should work for Corsair.
Hold on.
Oh, get rid of that. Yeah.
This is like a baby. I got
Baby!
like a
Protect your baby!
Okay.
Alright. Rob S. is a stalker. Whoa, that is a lot of bubble wrap.
It just keeps coming.
Oh god, no! I can't! Oh, I can't see! Help!
Oh.
Oh, is that wine? What is... No, it's coffee-flavored vodka.
Oh my god, that's vodka.
What? Are you kidding me?
Whoa.
Dude, we gotta take a shot.
Rob.
Rob. 40%, 1 liter. What a beautiful bottle, though.
That is, yeah.
That is a really nice...
That's the matte,
best looking...
that's the matte black.
And it's got a skull, like a straight-up skull, like Death Wish coffee.
Okay.
Death Wish coffee, coffee-flavored vodka. Albany Distilling Company. This is insane.
This
is a nice bottle.
That is a very nice bottle.
I thought it was wine at first.
All right.
Well, you first or me first?
I shouldn't do a shot right now.
You're right. You're right.
Just
we could save it for later.
Yeah.
There's something else that we could save for later. Perhaps for next week, which is this big-ass growler that we received from a fan, both you and I, that was addressed to us. Fargo Brewing Company. This is pretty massive.
That's
now,
huge.
a fun story and kind of a sad story about this. I received this in my P.O. box about a week ago. Wifey Sauce went by the post office to pick up my mail. She found this package, and it was completely soaked. Apparently, there was a second growler in the package that completely leaked. It was empty by the time she got to it. The box was soaked. This is the letter that is entirely, like, all the ink has been, like, you know, what do you call it? Ink's all leaked. The bleeding?
Redistributed.
Ink has been redistributed, to say the least. But the words are still intact, so I can still sort of go over this really quick. Paul and Kyle, greetings from Fargo, North Dakota.
Hey.
I'm so glad that we finally have dial-up internet here. Just kidding. We have fiber. Beautiful.
Oh.
That's nice. Better than what I have. But for real, it's pretty Amish up here. Look at the cattle classifieds in the packaging. My name is Donovan. I'm 24 years old, and I have been watching your videos since the Newegg days. Sweet.
Hell yeah.
I want to say thank you to both of you for helping me build my first PC and getting me all nerdy for computers instead of girls. ... I mean, consoles. I had no doubt. I have a beautiful life just like you guys and love watching you guys. I support you guys so much that you guys are whitelisted on my ad block. Ha! You are the best. And I also pay for YouTube Red. Hopefully you guys are getting something from that.
Cool.
In this package, there's a brewage for your consumption from our local brewing company, Fargo Brewing Company. One of the bottles is named Fargo's Original, which is a Helles lager and tastes like it sounds. Fargo is German. I believe that's what this is. The other one, which I believe was the one that leaked, unfortunately, is an IPA with Alpine taste. That would have been cool.
This is what is it? Crying Tiger?
Crying Tiger?
What?
Oh wait, there's no mention of Crying Tiger here. Maybe that's the IPA then.
It looks like it says Fargo Crying or something on the... I don't know.
Fargo...
Right? I don't know.
Yeah, it kind of does.
I'm gonna sneeze.
I'm not sure, actually, what that is. I guess we'll find out next week. Bless you. It'd be awesome to see you guys crack them open on Awesome Hardware and get a taste of what Fargo's all about and how the locals... that's how the locals... Oh, hey, I see. He said what Fargo's all about. That's how the locals...
About.
That's how the locals say about. Thank you guys again. Enjoy the brews on me. Thank you very much, Donovan. We do appreciate it.
Thanks, Donovan.
I'm sorry that one of them leaked.
I know.
But at least one of them made it. I would have been really disheartened if both of them didn't.
Yeah.
But cool. We'll probably drink this next week. We can crack it open. I'll bring it over to your house.
Sounds good.
Sweet.
I like that.
Okay, cool. And then I've got one more. We'll do this one really quick because we're short on time. This is from...
Thank you to everyone in chat who said bless you.
Yeah, oh, so nice. So
we got
nice.
we got another one?
Yeah. This one is from Parker. Parker. Good old Parker. This is the last one I have. So it'll be quick. And it is... Let's read the letter first. It's all paper clipped together, so... It's very thoughtful. Sure. Fan mail video.
Pre-open. Please open during a fan mail video.
Okay, alright. We've got a razor sticker.
Razor sticker.
We've also got 2 Apple stickers.
Nice.
Which I'm instantly going to find a place for. Hi, Bitwit. My name is Parker, and I am a huge fan. Also, the writing is not the most legible, but I'm sorry that the
The something on your test bench water cooling broke. The tube.
Oh, the tubes
on your test bench from when you lost your CPU.
Correct. Also, can you tell me all the components in your computer? Fans, CPUs, the works. Also, can you make a video on how to overclock your GPU and CPU? Thanks, and enjoy the gifts. P.S. Sorry for the bad handwriting.
That's alright.
You're more than forgiven, sir. Thank you very much for the letter.
Thanks, Parker.
So I don't really have like a general video on like overclocking. I've done some overclocking videos in the past.
Gosh,
Paul just did a Ryzen overclocking.
If only someone had just posted an overclocking video yesterday.
Paul literally uploaded an overclocking video on Ryzen.
Did.
So check that out.
And my Ryzen overclocking video could roughly apply to an Intel platform as well, just the values would be different as far as voltage numbers and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the general principles are the same.
Yes, and just to give you some really quick basic specs of Hotline, which is the primary desktop that I use since you asked, 2 GTX 980 Ti's in SLI, a 6950X, which is overclocked to 4.4 gigahertz right now, I believe, and it's an Asus X99 Sabertooth motherboard. And yeah, it's a good system. It's a good build.
It is.
It's a good rig. I should upgrade it too, though. It's kind of slowing me down.
You should. Wait, and did he send us a fan?
He also sent us a fan, just like a regular, basic, what is this, HXS, 120 millimeter.
Nice, it looks like an LED fan.
Perhaps like just a transparent LED fan.
I like it.
Cool, I'm going to find a use for this, I'm sure. And what is this, an arrowhead? Is that an arrowhead?
I don't know.
And a Lego.
It's Legos?
There's a Lego person. There's a Lego guy in here. This is so interesting. I'm fascinated right now. Okay, so there's a player 1. Oh, that's kind of cool. It looks like me, kind of. Except with, like, lighter hair. So there's a Lego guy. He's wearing, like, a pair of cans. And his shirt says player 1. Maybe he got it at, like, Legoland or something. I don't know.
Interesting.
There's just a Lego piece, maybe for him to stand on. Paul, you can play with that. We've also got this piece of copper coil. I don't know if it's copper, but it's a coil of some sort. What is that for?
Looks like copper.
Yeah. Are you sure this isn't just like trash?
Some copper wire.
Trash
useful.
You wanted to get rid of, and so you're just like, yeah, I'll give it to Cal. No, actually, this is pretty cool. This is the arrowhead.
Could make a motor. Make a motor out of that.
This is the arrowhead.
That's cool.
It looks like
that is an arrowhead.
It was just a piece of stone that's been shaved down into an arrow shape. It looks.
It's like a Native American artifact.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go spearhead fishing this weekend. And then we've also got a rock, a very nice white and black rock, white and black. This would match Arctic Panther.
It would.
Honestly. So if you want to, I'd sell it to you. I'll sell it to you.
Very sharp arrowhead.
Undisclosed amount we shouldn't say on the internet.
We'll negotiate that after.
Of course. And then this little
that's
cool little
that's
stone.
a magnet.
Magnet?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Actually, those are really strong magnets.
Thank
if
you
it's
for
the kind of magnet I'm aware of, I would really keep it away from your phone or your laptop.
Thank you for giving a avid computer builder a very strong magnet. I do appreciate that level of thoughtfulness. So,
I have a magnet like this, and I use it to store all of my all my twist ties.
In your twist ties.
I have a magnet attached to. This is really this is a magnet.
Holy shit!
It's definitely a magnet.
Ah!
I have the magnet attached to just like a metal piece, wherever, and then whenever I have twist ties, I just kind of like drop them on it. And
Is that really? Is that what it's for?
This one doesn't
Just
seem.
sort of
This
general-
one doesn't seem as strong as the one that I have.
have as much pull.
Yeah,
Interesting.
but it is a magnet.
It's nice and smooth.
Yes.
Feels nice.
I don't know if it's
Wanna squeeze it?
neodymium.
Oh, neodymium.
Yeah.
It's the stuff that they put in headphones sometimes. All right. Well, guys, I think that's going to conclude mail time. Thank you all so much for
Yay.
sending those things in.
Thank you.
It really
everyone.
is. It really is like Christmas morning for
It's
Paul and I
cool.
when we open stuff up and get to see it from you, especially those of you who are
If the amount
far
of
away
if
and
the amount
stuff.
of alcohol being sent to us increases, we're gonna have a difficult time actually drinking it all.
Yeah. Definitely don't send us any more alcohol. That would be
That
really
would be
bad.
terrible.
That would make for some really entertaining
What would
content
we
that we
do?
wouldn't want to show the world. Don't do that anymore. So, again, this has been awesome. That concludes mail time, and we can just dive right into some of the donations that you guys have hit us up with. Trigiv for the $5 donation. Paul,
Yeah.
when is the GTX 1080 Ti Poseidon being released?
Well, these are these first two
From
were
your
from
half?
the end of my half.
Yeah. Or the Asus PG27 VQ.
I don't know.
Come
I
on,
don't
Paul.
know, Trigiv. I
You
don't
know everything.
Asus only knows. You should tweet to JJ, Asus Tech Marketing JJ on Twitter.
Yep.
And ask him, and he'll probably also tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. He would actually at least know and be like, I'm not gonna tell you.
Yep.
Whereas we just have no idea at all.
Yeah, I really don't know. Next up, we've got Fred Rant, whose name we pronounced so correctly that he decided to donate $20 just for that.
Hey, that's awesome.
Thank you very much, Fred. We appreciate that. Keep doing you.
Keep ranting away.
Yeah. All right, now we've got UA Cole. UA Cole.
You a Cole.
For $5, suggestions for a GPU for an entertainment PC or an HD PC that will also run VR as well. Also Intel or Ryzen for VR. Okay.
You're okay with either as far as Intel or Ryzen?
Yeah. GTX
And-
1070.
Yeah, that's my cutoff
the base.
for VR 1070.
That's my base.
Yes, there are lesser GPUs that meet the specs. You can get by with a 480 or 580 or even like a 1066 gig.
Not as
But
long
honestly,
legs.
if you want the full experience, you're going to need to have at least a 1070. It's just yeah.
Yep.
It's like
Just do it. Just do it.
any type of lag or frame rate drop or anything like that when you're in VR is so noticeable and so distracting. Like you don't want to deal with it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Next up, we've got Automatic Matt. Again, thank you so much, Matt, for being
Thanks,
a
Matt.
regular donor.
Oh,
We do
yeah.
appreciate it. Thanks, Paul. You guys are the real MVP. Also, Kyle, did you ever try the VR cable management system? I tweeted you. I actually do have a cable management system for my VR headset that I have not installed yet. I'm a little bit wary just because I'm still living in my grandparents' place and I don't want to drill too many holes in the walls and stuff like that. I have to run it by them really quick. I do have a cable kit, though, that allows you to sort of suspend the cables from the HMD
Yeah.
to the ceiling. And it's, there's a couple different like hooks and carabiners and stuff.
Does it have
It's
like
fairly
a
simple.
rotating boom or something like that?
It's not a
No?
rotating boom. It's just a matter of like where you place the hooks, and it's got some of those retractable, like the badges, like the retractable badges. There's a couple of those that you can use so that when you extend, when you actually walk really far away, when you walk back, the cable pulls it back.
up.
Yeah, it pulls the cable back.
Be
So-
interesting for it to be able to do that without feeling like it's tugging on the headset.
Yeah, it has to be just the right amount of retention, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it could pull you out of it. But yes, thank you very much again for that link, Automatic Matt. I did take that suggestion. Next up, we've got Sir Valiant the Third for $30.
Valiant.
$30, you get an orange text because you
yeah.
donated a lot. Oh snap! I appreciate when you get my name right first try. Here's some more simoleons. Cool.
Much obliged.
I like all the simoleons. I'll take them all. Luke F. Better than Luke Lefrefre. For the $5. Kyle's turn, no question this time, but I am excited about time crystals and negative mass particles and their applications in quantum computing. Aren't we all?
Who isn't?
I think it's riveting.
Yeah.
I follow up on that every day. Honestly, I wish I had more to say about that. I don't know anything about that. Do you?
No, I have no. I mean, I know quantum computing. I don't. Those are either very advanced things that Luke is referring to, or it's nonsense. It could be either one.
That's very true.
Know.
Time crystals. It's silly. Sounds silly.
I do. Time crystals sound fascinating, though.
They do.
I want some.
They help you go back in time. At any rate, thank you very much, Luke. Next up, we've got Zingalto Valarin for the $5 donation, and done.
Of the House Martell.
Of the House Martell. And well done to you guys. You managed to pronounce my first name correctly.
No, just the first
name. Just the first. Oh, okay, jeez. All right, well, I guess, 50% ain't half bad.
Valarin?
Well, technically it's an F.
Valarin?
But we try. We try here on the show. Gerald Baker for the $17.99 again.
Gerald.
Nice. Thank you, Paul, for pronouncing my name correctly. We can just make money just pronouncing people's names correctly.
Apparently, that's a very, very lucrative business.
Yeah, I'm going to start a business. It's like, hey, you just come in and we'll just call you by your proper name, and you give us money. Thank you, Paul, for pronouncing my name correctly. Kyle, I did not smell you when I was in Temecula. Sorry. Well, you need to get your nose checked, man. I am very, very noticeable. Maybe I'll catch you. Maybe I'll catch your scent next time. I will buy you a beer if I do. Cheers again. Yeah, maybe we can go hang out at the Ballast Point Brewery in Temecula sometime.
That would be nice.
We'll do a fan meetup or something like that. Thank you again very much, sir, for that, Gerald. Ryan Peglow for the $20.
Ryan.
Thank you, sir. Wanted to donate again for Kyle's half, so each of you can have a few beers on me. Cheers to that, sir. I do appreciate it. All these contributions are fantastic. Never required, always appreciated.
We have lots of beers to drink, apparently.
Yes, indeed. And Cosmic.
Cosmic was a $5 donation in the comment.
$5.
I like that.
Those are the best.
That's awesome.
You rock, Cosmic. Eric Hill, $5. You guys butchered my last name. It's Jelly.
Jelly. Jelly.
See, that's like what I would have gone to if I was trying to make fun of your name. I was like, yeah, what is that last name? Jelly?
That would be such an awesome last name to have.
It would. Mr. Jelly. Mr. Jelly. It would immediately take out all the tension of any conversation.
No, if I had that last name, I would have to become a doctor. Dr. Jelly.
Dr. Jelly.
Come on.
Yeah.
Dr. Jelly. Would you not... How could you not take advice from Dr. Jelly?
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
Okay.
Or if you were like a sir, like Sir Dr. Jelly the Third.
Jelly.
It's just the most sophisticated and royal name ever, but then just throw jelly into it.
What else? What else could you... Professor Jelly?
Professor Jelly.
I don't know. That doesn't work as well, I feel like. I like Dr. Jelly.
Headmaster Jelly. I like it. I like your last name, man.
Thanks, Eric.
Your last name rocks. Thanks, Eric. Zingalto Valarin.
Of the House Martell.
Of the House Martell. $5 donation. A good big reason for not upgrading to Pro from Windows 10 EDU is Cortana and the telemetry. No Cortana on Windows 10 EDU, and much less telemetry and tracking. Oh, okay. The telemetry and tracking I can definitely empathize with. I've never used Cortana, to be fair.
I haven't either. I usually turn it off.
Yeah, I usually turn her off.
She's still there, though.
She still floats around.
Judging.
She's like the crazy ex-girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Cortana is. Trigiv for the $10. Thank you very much. Paul, when is the GTX 10? Wait, we already saw that one. Oh, it's a continuation. I need both for a dream build. Wait, by the way, I think that's a repeat, right?
Maybe he donated again on your half because he didn't realize that we were going to take his donation from the previous half and still read
perhaps.
it.
Well, you already have your answer, sir. Thank you very much again for your donation.
Thank you.
Next up, we've got Thievy Chow for the $10. I missed the first portion because I'm a piece of shit. Hope this compensates. Of course it does, Thievy.
It does.
Wish I could stay,
Makes up for
but
everything.
need to go out and figure out how optics work. Fuck physics. I'm just going to flip burgers.
Don't flip burgers, Stevie. You have a bright future ahead of you. Just got to keep your nose to the grindstone. Work hard.
Keep your nose to the taint, as they say. All right, next up, thank you very much, Thievy. Next up, we've got Steven Gutierrez for the $10. Hey, Paul, I recently built your Mini ITX build. Only difference I made was a 1080 Ti. If you could have changed anything about to your personal preference, what would you have changed about your Mini ITX build that you did recently?
With the Mini ITX build?
Was it the one in the Leon Lee case?
Yeah.
The glass? What did you put in it?
Some
inferior GPU?
I mean, it was a Z270 board. It was I don't know. I think possibly the motherboard. It was an ASRock board that I used, which was functional. there are some nicer boards out there that weren't available at the time when I was getting the parts
It was
together.
Z270?
I was originally going to use the EVGA Z270 Stinger. I think that's a pretty nice board. It wasn't available when I was getting the parts, so I might have considered something like that. But, I mean, functionally, the ASRock board worked just fine, and everything was good. So, yeah, actually, honestly, one of the changes I would have made is dropping in a 1080 Ti instead of the 1080, because that was another thing that launched as I was parting it out, was the 1080 Ti. So I like your option of putting that in there in the Founders Edition.
So does my grandfather.
So cool.
Apparently.
Yeah, I'm glad you I'm glad you like that build. I thought it was a really cool little build, actually.
It was really nice.
Nice little system. Or the little
I love that case.
Leanly case,
That case is beautiful.
I mean, if you can get over the price,
Of course, as is any Leanly case.
Then yeah.
Well, it's full aluminum, tempered glass. The quality is pretty top notch. That was a nice build. I did enjoy that one. And then next up we've got one from Brandon. Brandon H. Hinton, $5. Thank you very much, Paul. I saw your 570X build and I'm interested in the case. Is the lack of a rear exhaust fan a problem for airflow, or should I purchase a 120 as well?
Brandon, I would say that very much depends on the hardware that you have inside that system. By and large, you should be okay. If you have a lot of hardware in there, if you've got like a really high-end CPU and you've got like a couple GPUs or something like that, then yeah, I would say add the extra exhaust. Beyond that, though, there's gaps all over that case since the tempered glass pieces are held kind of separate from the case itself, so I don't think airflow is too much of an issue. As long as you've got some decent exhaust, you should be fine. But like I said, if you got a lot of hardware in there, then yeah, I would add the extra airflow.
It'd be good to do a test to see, like, is there any difference on your CPU thermals or something like that with or without an exhaust fan at the back. That'd be kind of a cool test.
It's nice to test.
Yeah.
You can always reality check yourself. And yes, and then there's another one also from Brandon Hinman who said, not sure if my question was sent, and the same question. But thank you, Brandon, for donating twice.
Yeah. And on that note, those are all the donations that I'm seeing here. So let's quickly do some Johnson shout-outs. I probably don't have too many.
I have 6.
Do it.
No, I have 5.
Go.
I have 5 Johnsons.
You
Matthew.
go now.
Matthew
Boy.
W. from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Oh, Double Johnson.
Oh,
Words of circle Imperial Pint Glass.
And the pub glass.
Woo.
Oh, you get a set of glasses.
Ayo.
Your drinking receptacles.
Indeed.
Matthew P. from California.
Hey.
Got the Thumbscrew shirt. Thank you,
Gerald.
Matthew.
Gerald, I think that's Double Johnson. I think he ordered from you last
He ordered
half.
in the first half, too.
Gerald
yeah, for sure,
B.
Gerald. Thank you, Gerald.
Thank you very much. Picking up some glasses. Hey.
Robert C. from Massachusetts got a pub glass as well. Thank you so much, Robert.
Going from Matthew W. from Fitchburg, Wisconsin.
Nice.
Also picking up some glasses. Thank you very much, Sir Johnson, to you.
James M. also got the pub glass.
Double Johnson.
From Ohio.
Yeah.
Thank you, James.
Thanks for picking up a ceramic mug, the overclocking mug. Yes, indeed.
And Stephen T. from New Jersey, got the Thumbscrew Tri-Blend shirt.
Johnson to Robert. Oh, I'm sorry, Robert. Robert C. from Massachusetts.
I believe that's Massachusetts.
You picked up glasses. Glasses are selling. All right, everyone loves to drink things.
People have gotten lots of glasses tonight. That's cool.
And then one from Alex Fisher from Texas.
Thanks, Alex.
You picked up a Stay Positive Tri-Blend t-shirt.
Good.
That is one of my personal favorites.
Classic shirt.
And then we've got one from Stephen Torelli from Somers Point, New Jersey, picking up a CPU cooler shirt in Heather Nate.
That's a Double Johnson for Steven, by the way.
Beautiful, Steve. Beautiful, Steven. So that is going to conclude it, my friends, for this episode of Awesome Hardware, episode 104. Thank you so much for tuning in. I had a lot of fun on this show. Hopefully you enjoyed watching it. We will be back again next Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. And hopefully you all have a wonderful evening or day or morning or whatever time it might be where you are currently. We'll see you guys soon. Yeah?
Yes.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh, raid. We have a raid?
Raid.
We have a raid?
I don't know.
Who should we raid? Did Cell tell us? Is there anything in the show duck?
He's been pretty good about that recently.
Show duck?
Pistol! We're
Pistol!
We're streaming. We're raiding
right.
Pistol.
Everyone go raid
Pistol.
the shit out of Pistol. Her handle is it just...
It's Pistol.
It's just Pistol. She got Pistol? That's her handle?
She's been streaming since streaming was streaming.
I know, but still, a lot of people have.
Everyone raid
That's
Pistol.
beautiful. All right, so twitch.tv/Pistol, or you can just wait for us to close this the show. We'll host her. We'll host her in a sec. All right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell her that we sent you. Give her some love. And, yeah. Tell her she's awesome. All right, guys.
Bye, guys.